Yep, we're back. I can't believe it either. Another episode, No Brainer MMA. This week we're going to be going over UFC 288, Aljo Sterling, Triple C, the Cringe King, Henry Cejudo. And remember, guys, if you have a gambling problem, yada, 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 we're going to get right into this one. Henry Cejudo versus Aljamain Sterling. All right, I'm going to start off with Henry Cejudo. We've seen a lot of guys coming off long layoffs like Cejudo. I'm talking like 3-year-long layoffs. We've already seen a couple already this year. John Jones came back, won one-sidedly. Zach Cummins came back from a 3-year layoff and looked the best possibly that we've ever seen him. And Veronica Hardy came back after almost a 3-year layoff to the date and put on a clinic. So, you know what? This 3-year layoff thing is actually looking pretty good. I know there's a couple outliers in there. But for the most part, I'm really surprised by these long layoffs. And one thing just to address right off the top, people are saying that Cejudo is going to have ring rust into this. That is such an over-exaggeration. It's not even funny. This guy has enough fighting experience between MMA and wrestling to come back after a 10-year layoff. He'd have to, he'd look like Duran Win, probably. You know, I still think that he would have it. Although I do think Cejudo taking that much time off in the prime of his career was a pretty bonehead move.
You fucking idiot.
But that's to say the least. But he did end with a bang, 6 straight wins, 4 of them by KO, wins over the greatest pound-for-pound fighter of all time, Demetrius Johnson, him or John Jones. He also had a win over TJ the Snake Dillashaw, 5-time champ, top 5 bantamweight of all time, possibly, and 7-time champ and arguably top 3 bantamweight of all time, Dominic Cruz. So I get why, at that point, Cejudo felt he had nothing else to prove, and, you know, sayonara. Cejudo is a super well-rounded guy, obviously. People are going to talk about his wrestling until your ears bleed, but the guy is unreal pace, one of the best IQs in the entire sport, some heavy hands on those T-Rex arms. And one of the best thing I thought that he did is his ability to set up his striking with his grappling, getting his opponents to bite on those takedowns, which opens up his strikes. And he really does have some serious punching power and a real uncanny ability to take advantage of those situations. He's taken on Aljamain Sterling, who you can't deny has had a great run on the journey to the title. I think that he has always been pretty overrated, but nevertheless, he's done a pretty good job as champ. He hasn't lost since 2017, rounding an 8-fight winning streak, including 3 bantamweight belts, 2 coming from Peter Yan, that one DQ heard around the world, talked ad nauseum. Most recently, a win over 37-year-old TJ Dillashaw, really past his prime, coming off a double shoulder surgery that was possibly career-ending. So not really the same level of competition. That Corey Sandhagen fight that Aljo won was probably the most impressive win, in my opinion, and that was before his title reign. But nevertheless, Aljo has proven that he's good wherever the fight goes. He's got great cardio. That's really what he flexes most of the time. But really excels in grappling exchanges, much like Cejudo. Now, breaking down the fight, you have to give the grappling advantage to the King of Cringe. You just can't not. So that already is taking away one of Aljo's best attributes. Now, Cejudo is for sure the more powerful puncher, not even close. Aljo does have a 4.5-inch reach against him, and does have a very well-timed jab that will make it harder for Cejudo to close the distance. I think Aljo wants to take this Leon Edwards approach that we saw him take against Kamaru Usman. Just work off your back foot, do some damage at distance, try to slow Cejudo down. Now, like at the beginning of the video, I said the biggest difference maker is going to be who's going to hold up the longer, who's going to have the better gas tank. I know there's a lot of question marks around Cejudo's gas tank, but I think his cardio holds up. I think he gets the better of the grappling exchanges. I think that he lands the more powerful shots, so I'm going to be going with the gold medalist, King of Cringe, Henry Cejudo in this one.